It used to be simple. You applied for a job, someone reviewed your resume, and if you were qualified, you got a chance. That was the expectation. But now, something feels off. People are applying to dozens, sometimes hundreds of jobs, and hearing nothing back. Not a rejection, not an interview, nothing. And after a while, it stops feeling like bad luck and starts feeling like something else entirely. So what actually changed? On the surface, the job market still looks active. There are job postings everywhere. Companies claim they're hiring. Platforms like LinkedIn are filled with opportunities. But behind that visibility, the hiring process has quietly transformed into something most people never see. Because today, the first decision about whether you're considered isn't made by a person. It's made by a system. Before a human ever reads your resume, it usually passes through an applicant tracking system, or ATS. These systems scan applications, filter candidates, and rank them based on very specific criteria. Keywords, formatting, phrasing, even how your experience is structured. And if your resume doesn't align with what the system is programmed to recognize, it can be rejected automatically, without anyone ever knowing you applied. But that's only the first layer, because once companies started relying on systems to filter candidates, the entire process began to change around that assumption. Job descriptions became more optimized for algorithms than for people. Requirements expanded, not always because the role needed them, but because the system could filter more efficiently that way. And over time, the gap between what jobs require and what candidates can realistically match began to widen. Then comes the second layer, AI-driven hiring tools. These systems don't just scan resumes, they analyze patterns. They compare candidates. They attempt to predict who will perform well, stay longer, or fit into a company's culture. Some evaluate how you answer questions. Others assess communication style. Some even analyze video interviews for tone and behavior. The goal is efficiency, but the effect is something much harder to see. Because once decisions are shaped by models instead of people, the definition of being qualified becomes less transparent. It's no longer just about whether you can do the job. It's about whether you match what the system expects a successful candidate to look like. And that expectation isn't always visible, consistent, or even accurate. So candidates adapt. They rewrite resumes to match keywords. They tailor applications to pass filters. They apply to more jobs, hoping something gets through. But in doing that, the process becomes less about finding the right role and more about navigating the system itself. And even when everything is optimized, there's still no guarantee anyone will ever see the application. At the same time, another layer adds to the confusion. Some job postings aren't as active as they appear. Companies may leave listings open to collect resumes, test interest, or prepare for roles that aren't immediately available, which means applicants are investing time and effort into opportunities that may not actually exist in the way they expect. And when you combine all of that, filtering systems, AI screening, inflated requirements, and uncertain job listings, something starts to shift. The market begins to look full of opportunity, but functionally behave like something much more restricted. Applications go in, but fewer make it through. Visibility increases, but access doesn't follow. And over time, that creates a disconnect. People are doing what they're supposed to do, applying, improving, trying again, but not moving forward. And when that happens at scale, it stops feeling like a personal issue and starts to look like a structural one. So the real question isn't just why it's harder to get hired, it's whether the job market people believe they're participating in still operates the way they think it does, or if it's already been replaced by a system that works very differently than most people realize. If you found this video interesting, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss the deep dives we take into the systems shaping our world. And if you know other independent thinkers who want to understand what's really going on behind the headlines, share this video with them. Then help out the algorithm. Hit that like button. Ready for the next truth test? Let's go.